Ready? Oh, so I'm Randy Major. I'm here today with Jay.
Hey,
Uh,
what's up, everybody? This is Jay Lange.
yeah, dude, crazy thing here. I met how long ago? Just a couple days ago, but we've talked a lot. Jay's a 15-year-old, just killing it at network marketing. You know what? I don't even
Thanks,
know how
man.
to do that at
Thanks, man.
15, man.
Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna sit here and like just talk about different things for a little bit, and you can listen in and figure out what we're gonna talk about.
One of the things that I'm super interested in is how much harder is it to do network marketing when you're 15? I mean, do you think it's harder or do you think it's easier?
Honestly, man, I think it's easier just because. Well, it just seems easier, but it gets I mean, it goes from hard to easy. That's what you try to beat in internet marketing. You want to try to beat the hard parts and just make it all easy. And honestly, it's just been really easy for me. And I'm not trying to brag on anybody, but it used to be really hard. I used to stay up 12 hours every single night, sweat, and then I didn't have no team. And then I ran into the right team. I always say motivation is good, but when you don't know what you're doing, it's not good. So that's when I got into the team build. Like, that's not like a team build. I honestly try to do a team build, and then my team just turned into family, and that's how it's pretty much been. It's like an orphanage for internet marketers. That's what I love about it. And being able for me and my buddy Casey to start this has been the best thing ever. Randy, he's awesome. He could probably tell a bit about himself. I know that he was in a really bad car accident, and I was like, dang, when he told me that. He was in the hospital for like 2 days, and I was like 4 days ago, Randy. That's crazy, man. And you're already
Man,
back on a computer.
yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Actually, previous to that, I'd taken a little break from network marketing, but it seems like in my life, like good news and bad news, sometimes they come wrapped together, you know.
Yeah,
So
like what that whole thing you told me about that business offer, and I mean that's good. That's bad news turning into good news right there, man. That's crazy.
yeah, to be the first person to hop on with a brand new company is super exciting. You know,
It's crazy because you're gonna be a millionaire one day. Now we're sitting here talking. Before Donald Trump was, before he was where he's at now, he was talking to people as well. And now all the people that talk to him that probably never get a chance to talk to him again are like, wow, I talked to that guy when he wasn't even making any money. That's crazy because that's how it all starts. You
dude,
know.
that is how it all starts. And I think so. I was after we talked last time and through today a little bit. I was thinking like, I was thinking about you, Jazz. Like, how does he do it? And I think you tell me what you think about it. But being 15, you haven't developed this stubbornness that everybody develops as they get older. They get older and they're like, oh, I don't even want to try that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. And
Well, yes. I have so many. Just because I'm 15, people don't realize they come up and pitch me, and people pitch me, and it's an 18, plus business, and it turns out from them stressing out, or they try to stress me, and I start stressing them because they're sitting here spamming me every 5 minutes, and then I say, hey, I'm 15, yeah, sure, let's do this, and they're like, oh, I can't bring in my business. You know, they don't. It's like, did you not look at me? Did you not even try to figure out who I am? I mean, I mean, I don't do like I'm not stubborn or anything, but I know how to market correctly, and that's like the main thing. Like any marketer knows that. I can tell you the big things that you would never even notice from now on into 3 years from now that I've learned in the last 3 or 4 months. I know how to market better than anybody can. I don't, you don't see me posting what business I'm in every day because, like I tell people, you can get 5 to 10 signups a day if you talk to me. But if you get that many signups, how are they going to make money like you're making money? If I'm going to have to do all the work for you, like I always say, what if somebody could teach everybody in the world, like say last night when I was telling you about the million people, if you had an audience of a million people and the million people happen to be on your team but they couldn't make any money, well, what if you could tell all them people how to get 5 to sales a day? And that's a million people you're talking to. If each one of the people get 5 people and there's a million people, that's crazy. That's a lot of dang people that you're gonna pull in. That's why I'm saying, if all these people aren't a business, that's overpopulated. And I even know how to fix overpopulated businesses because that's what I studied. Like, what if this business, like, every business is overpopulated because, see, Randy, you don't, it's not every day you get a chance to go into a business that's just starting. So, like, what if me, like, happened 10 or maybe 4 or 5 years down the road and that's so, like, business is full of like a million people? How am I going to be able to bring people in? Well, I used to study. How could I? And it's not that hard. It's not that you just got to figure out what you can do to make it happen. And that's what I do. That's what I'm trying to train and tell people what I do. And, I'm really excited about that. And it's going to be great. And I'm really happy to be able to talk to Randy and tell him little by little, and it's just an amazing opportunity for me to be able to talk to him. He's able to talk to me. And, it's great. But,
it's so crazy, Jay, because I love your story. And your story, it's like the first chapter of a book. You're so young. Your story is going to be huge.
yeah, man, I know it's already starting to grow right now. My chapters are getting longer and bigger every single day. And I mean, I've been like every time I'm trying to post a status on Facebook, I'm like, I don't think I'm very ready to put out my story yet. Even though I'm having success, I'm just gonna keep it real with everyone. I'm just gonna keep on acting like a normal person until I actually start doing what I'm doing because right now ain't the right time. But if you want to go over some stuff we talked about last night, about like well, I'm just trying to say right now. I'm 15, but I have the drive of anybody else that's an internet marketer. You could be 30, 40, 50 years old, but I have the drive, a bigger drive than all of you guys combined. Like you can take a drive of a 30-year-old millionaire and then a 30-year-old billionaire, have both of their drives into one.
One thing that you do have is you have this mindset that's I can do it and nobody can tell you any other way. And I think everybody needs to take that in, and everybody can learn that from you is I need to have a mindset that I can do it and it's not hard and I have the drive, the motivation, and the means to do it.
Exactly, because that's exactly what I was saying is, I used to do, this is something I guess it's just like the time to say it, it's like the big come out thing. But I used to play stupid with really professional marketers and figure out what kind of stuff they did and how they were teaching their people that were newbies, because, if you look at the guys, I'm not saying to go play stupid with Bill Gates right now or anybody else that's, he's not like an internet marketer, but he's a programmer, but if you're going to go play stupid with Donald Trump, he's not going to have time for you. So he's probably if you actually had time to talk to him, he's going to give you false information. So if you know what you're doing, they're just going to motivate you. People like that are making all this money don't have time, and that's what I'm trying to help people make money because it's a true saying. If your team is making money, you're making money as well, and that's true. Why don't they tell you how to make money? And there's so many different strategies that you can use. But if you're in a business where they're saying post in this Facebook group or or you post or you send a bunch of messages or start, they don't say anything about solid relationships in any business. That's what I'm trying to bring back. I mean, some might, so don't get me wrong there, but some, they just say the opposite of what you should do. They're saying just to be a scam or spammer, pretty much.
One of the things, too, is there's so many videos out there about network marketing, about people just going on about nothing. And it's annoying.
Exactly. Exactly. They go on about nothing. You could say, hey, every video that starts out, they're talking kind of like how we're talking. We're just kind of like if you've made a tag or something, how to be a professional businessman. Well, you're gonna just listen to them for an hour and 49 minutes just talking about how they got there. They're not telling how they actually. They're telling how they got there, but they're not telling exactly how they did it. They're just saying how they got there and how much money they're making. They're saying, I hit this, I'm a multimillionaire. Well, cool. What did you do to do it?
Well, I talked to a bunch of people. Well, what'd you say?
Exactly.
How'd you talk to them?
That's exactly what I'm saying, man. How did you talk to them, or how did you talk to the people? Because obviously, you say I'm making money, but you're also making people. That's the whole point of internet marketing. You're making people, and lately, I've been seeing a lot of people dropping in internet marketing. I see so many stats saying, "Hey, I'm not going to be an internet marketer no more. I'm getting a job." Okay, do it because that's the biggest scam. You're making money, but is it enough? you know, you didn't get the proper guidance, you didn't get the trainings. You know, motivation is good, but just you probably got a hell of a lot of motivation. But why didn't you take that motivate? Like, why didn't they motivate you to do this? Why didn't they motivate you to do this instead of motivating you to go out and find a bunch of people and then bring them to your business? You know, that's what they're motivating you right now. That's why the industry is going downhill. But I'm trying to make it go back up. You know, and that's why I like the support that I'm getting from a lot of people. Because if you're making it go downhill, well, there's gonna be a lot of dropouts. You know, and it's not really a good thing, but you know, you can always bring them people in and teach them the proper way of making money. That's why I'm trying to tell people exactly how I made money and how I make money.
You know, another thing that I love about you, Jay, I just caught it, is you said that you're trying to bring the whole entire network marketing, internet marketing industry up. Your vision is so huge. You know, you're like, oh, I'm not trying to like bring my downline up and my friend. I'm trying to bring the whole industry up. That's what you just said.
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
how you started that off.
That's
And I love
exactly what
that.
I want to do. And you know, I meet a lot of people. And let me just tell you one thing right now. If they don't want to get in and hang out with you, like this is the thing that I want to be able to get through everybody's heads. If you give somebody the opportunity to give this, if you say, hey, I'm going to sign up with your business, but can you get on and hang out with me first? Or can I call you because I need some guidance? 97 to 95% of the people are going to say, I'm really busy right now. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, if you're trying to pull me into business, you're just going to keep chatting with me on Facebook for the next 20 minutes, but you're not actually going to help me make any money with this business. You're just telling me the link, how to sign up. Well, how do I make money if I sign up? You know, is it a quick $30 or is it a quick $50? How am I going to make money? Now, that's why the industry is going downhill, because I've never met anybody on Facebook that has a drive. It's always, this is how you sign up. See you later.
Not only is it that, is people fail to
There's so
realize
many reasons, man. We can go on all day about how this industry
it,
is going downhill, and
it, what
I
people,
could make a bunch of things how I'm gonna make it go back up. But you
the,
know,
the thing people forget to realize, you know, they got this, oh, I need to refer 5 people in their head. But the truth of the matter is, referring 5 people might make you a little bit of money, but it's not going to do crap for you in the long run. You know, you have to refer 5 people
and
and
if you got the
build a
mindset,
business.
man, I want to put this out there right now. Anybody listening to this video right now, you know, if you're got the mindset to get 10 people in your business a day, well, if you actually get 10 people a day, how are you doing it so you can share it with your downline, you know? I'm not just saying this to, I mean, if you were actually making that many sales a day, which I know how, but the thing is, if you know how as well, why aren't you telling everybody in your team how to do it too? Are you afraid of giving your big secret that you're going to have a success story? No. Because honestly, I used to do the same thing, guys. I used to say, hey, I'm going to get these people in, and then, you know, I used to get a bunch of people in. But if you do that, how are they going to make money? How are they going to do? You know, you may bring in a few people that already know what's going on, they already know how to do it, but not everybody's going to. Everybody's going to want bigger and better strategies to make more money. Now,
That's the thing with network marketing. It's the whole idea behind network marketing is making money off of other people. You can bring 10 people in a day all day long, but if they don't do anything and if they don't have success, you're really spinning your wheels in the mud. You're not making network marketing what it should be.
exactly. And you know what it should be is a bunch of people that have the time to talk. You know, because if you know what open mind and closed minded mean, because you know a lot of people don't even know what that means. Open minded, they don't know exactly what I'm trying to put out there. Now, when you say open minded, you got to keep an open mind to other businesses and other opportunities and other people. Closed minded is where you're stuck on one business and you expect to make $100,000 a week or a month with it. Which if you have a closed mind, that is never going to happen. If you're saying I'm trying to build this, well, at the end of the day, you're still going to be stressing because you got 0 people into your business. And you know why? It's because you are a closed mind, or you're closed minded. Now, if you have an open mind, everything's going to go great, because when I opened my mind and I listened to other people and I actually took the time to do it, that's when all the money started coming in. And Randy, you can take over, man.
Yeah, you know, dude, I'm glad I was able to get you on here and have everybody listen, dude. Young kid doing network
Yeah, thanks,
marketing,
man. Thanks, man.
open-minded, you know,
Yeah.
motivated, and dude, you're really put together for your age, and it's inspiring to me. I hope other people find this inspiring too.
Yeah,
inspire.
man. Thanks a lot, man. That's exactly what I'm here for. I'm here to help people. I'm not here to tell people, get in my business, you're gonna make $1,000 a day. If I'm making $1,000 a day, the information's going straight to you for my business. But the whole point of this, okay, money is always gonna be a problem for everybody, and there's not gonna be, if you're rich already, if you had the opportunity to get money somewhere, you won the lottery, that's great. But if you hold on to that money and if you don't spend it to make more money, what's going to happen? You could blow $1 million in 2 weeks' time because when I made money, I'd blow it. I'd have so much money, I'd end up blowing it, and I don't even know where it went.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, I'm so excited about what's happening. What's going down with my team. They turn into family, like just like that, and that's the main thing you want to do. And the best thing to do with that is that you want to be able to guide them exactly how you did it. Because I'm not saying, I thought about doing this and maybe you should take it for a try and see if it works. I'm giving the potential of telling everybody how I actually got there. I'm not saying, get in my business, here's a link, join right now, and then I'm going to help you. I'm telling you right now, open-minded is where it needs to be, because this is, everybody's like, how do I brand myself in internet marketing? A lot of people say give value. That's very correct. If you're giving value, like how I'm giving value right now, that's great. But telling people to have an open mind and take people as another thing, because if you're with a business, eventually that's going to catch up with you. You're going to say, I'm going to get 5 signups today. I'm just going to talk to people, give them my link, and hopefully they sign up. Okay, some days you're going to get signups, but some days you're not. And if it's just one time they're not making money, that's about all you're going to make. Is it's like if I have like an auto responder that I'm trying to sell, or if I'm an affiliate marketer, well, that's just a one-time thing. I have to go out and sell 1 million of these things just to get a good commission. That's
Yeah,
why I
no,
say,
I hear you.
yeah, exactly, man.
I'm
It's
gonna try to wrap this up. I don't want these things to be too terribly long. Dude, the
yeah,
time
yeah,
goes
yeah, for
by
sure,
so
man.
quick, man.
Yeah,
Dude, the
for
time
sure.
just goes.
I just want to tell everybody thank you for watching this video. Thanks for watching us hang out. And I hope we connect later on down the road, and I can actually help you get where you want to be in life, because I'm on that road right now, and it's the best feeling I've ever got. So if you want to come on an adventure with me, I'm more than happy to help you out. These hangouts, I have time for everybody. I'm not just gonna say watch this video and sign up for my business, and I'm gonna give you trainings. Well, actually, I'm gonna start doing trainings, but before you sign up for my business, I want to personally talk to everybody. That's exactly how I am. I want to be able to personally talk to everybody for an hour, you know, and help them get to where they want to be and tell them how they can do it. But thanks for watching this video, and
That's why you
I
don't get
hope.
any sleep, man. No, I'm gonna put a link to your Facebook and stuff in the description of this
Awesome, yeah,
video.
that's great. Yeah,
So
that's awesome. Go ahead and do that, man.
yeah, um, hit either one of us up if you have any questions. Want to go over some strategies or just want to talk. So yeah,
Exactly.
15-year-old doing it.
Getting it done, man. That's exactly what I'm here for. I want to get it done. I want to help other people get it done too.
Right on. Yeah, I guess that wraps it up.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. This is exactly what I said a couple minutes ago. Is let's connect. That's what it's all about, actually. It's if we ain't got a relationship, if you saying, hey, that's what exactly. I'm gonna wrap this up one more time. I'm sorry about that, Randy, but
No,
you
dude,
know,
it's good because that's
I
what
just
network marketing is about. They
yeah,
say
because
a
it connect.
network marketer that's a millionaire. A network marketer that is a millionaire is a network marketer with a million friends.
Exactly.
And with billions of people in the world, we should all have millions of friends. So, hit us up.
Exactly. Exactly. Hit us up, and I want to strategize one more thing. I don't care if you're in Skinny Body Care, if you're in Vima, if you're in Wake Up Now. If it just really doesn't matter what business you're in. If you want to make it happen, you can make it happen. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. They can make it happen. That's not motivation. I'm giving motivation right now. I'm not saying go ahead and go kill it with your business, because I'm telling you right now that if that's what your mindset is, to get 5 people a day, you really need to talk to me, and that's exactly what I'm here for. I'm not trying to pull you into my business, because I'm, if you're this age, if you're like a single mom, I'm gonna get you in this business. And I've said that kind of bad, if you're wanting a business to join and you personally ask me, and this one's gonna be too hard for you, I'll give you one that's kind of easy and that could help you, and it's like a beginner. Now, if you know what you're doing, and if you know how to make money, and you know what it's all about, connecting, you can build relationships with people. And if that's what you're there for, this business will be great for you. But I'm not saying anybody needs to join my business. I'm just saying I need to connect with these people and tell them what's all about before this industry goes downhill.
Right on. Hey, I'll bring you back for another one of these this week or something, man, because I really like you.
Awesome, man. That sounds great.
Right on.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.